campuses throughout the country, and we've got 6,000 students in those programs.
He added that another attractive feature for Grand Canyon University is that since it's not a state or government-run institution, they don't have to push agendas.
We don't have what many people would refer to as indoctrination of a certain ideology going on here. There's freedom of speech, and that's also very attractive to families.
Mueller said Grand Canyon University's average student now takes out less money than the average state university student.
And so for the first time, a private university is as affordable as a state university, in many cases more affordable, and we don't rely on the tax subsidies. We've become a very attractive place as a result of that.
I'm Bronson Woodruff.
The head of CVS Health has stepped down, with company shares sinking 19% this year, and the healthcare giant struggling on several fronts. Company shares tumbled again today after CVS Health also warned of a disappointing third quarter and said investors should not rely on guidance it laid out in August. The CEO will be replaced by veteran CVS Health executive David Joyner. Recovery efforts continue in western North Carolina following Hurricane Helene. Here's Fox weather meteorologist Jane Minar.
The North Carolina Department of Transportation says nearly 7,000 roads and bridges were damaged from Hurricane Helene, with damage estimates up to several $1 billion so far. The federal government has given $100 million to the state to begin recovery. 600 roads still remain closed across North Carolina, 100 of those on interstates and state and federal highways. The NCDOT has more than 2,000 crews working on recovery operations to get roads reopened so that utility companies can get into areas without power.
In final news, the national average for a gallon of regular gasoline today is $3.19. Thanks for listening.
Did you know that what happens in your state legislature affects your daily life, liberty, and property just as much as what happens in the White House? Maybe even more. How will you decide which down-ballot candidates deserve your vote on November the 5th? Resist being swayed by emotional campaign ads and sound bites. Visit iVoter Guide for the facts about the state legislative candidates on your ballot so that you can think for yourself. Election Day is Tuesday, November the 5th. Vote wisely with iVoterGuide.com. That's iVoterGuide.com.
It's First Time Caller Day on Trivia Friday. The number to call with your question or your answer to a question is 888-589-8840.
It is first-time callers, so start lining up, folks. If you've never been on the show with us, today could be your day.
So first-time callers only today. Now we're going to ask 3 questions each.
The quack of a duck does not produce an echo. Is that true or false?
That falls under the category of it's just wrong.
Yes.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Trivia Friday on American Family Radio. Thanks for listening to AFR. I'm Tim Wildmon with Ed Battagliano. Good morning, Brother Ed.
Good morning, Tim.
I should say Professor Ed for today.
That's right.
JJ Jasper, how you doing, JJ?
I'm doing great. A little better than the woman who wasn't feeling well. Woman wasn't feeling well. She went to the urgent care, and the nurse said, "Have you experienced a sudden loss of taste?" Woman said, "No. I always dress like this."
I thought it was
going to leave here and head straight to Walmart.
Bada-boom.
With my fuzzy slippers and my robe.
Yeah, right. If you're lucky, they're in a robe with slippers at Walmart. Sometimes they dress with far less than that.
All right, so you're listening to Trivia Friday, also known as Learning University. Learning University is on the air.
We need to give the phone number.
And as the announcer said, first-time callers. That's going to be exciting to hear from new people.
First-time callers only, right?
That's right.
All right.
And we do know if you've called in before, and we are not afraid to turn your name over to the National Security Agency.
Right.
If you break the rules.
Never be too safe.
888-589-8840. That number to call to get on this here show. 888-589-8840. First-time callers only. That means if you have never been on the air
pretty self-explanatory, but
yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, there's a lot of people who have called but never gotten through.
Do they know that?
So that's what we're looking at, trying to give as many people as possible the thrill. Yes, I said thrill of getting on the air with we three professors are?
Here's the deal. Yes, it may be self-explanatory, but there's a segment of the population, they tell me in some elections, they say, well, my gas prices has been doubled, my food is triple, construction prices off the roof, the mortgage rates are triple. I think I want some more of that.
All right, so here we go. We're going to ask 3 questions each. You call in, you answer one, and you ask one. That's what we prefer. Ask a trivia question, answer one of ours. You answer first, and then you can ask us. You need to be 11 years old and older to call in. And let's see, what else?
One of those 9 questions that we asked
you'll hear this sound.
Is a mystery question, and if you answer it correctly, this is what you hear.
Yes, blow the cowbell. Blow the cowbell shall ring, and all the world will know you've won yourself an AFR what, JJ?
A baseball cap, really nice AFR baseball cap. And again, one of these original 9 questions, the mystery question, you don't know which one it is, but if you land on it, answer it correctly, you're going to really like this. And if you don't win it today, you can get it in our store.
Yes, resources.afa.net, resources.afa.net.
DVDs, books, swag, some AFR clothing, and that nice hat that really has only been out a couple of months.
Yep. So get yourself an AFR hat, baseball cap. Some people call it farmer's cap, trucker's cap, whatever the case may be. Get yourself one of those hats, and you can get it where? You can buy
resources.afa.net
for $20, right? Or 20.
Yeah, I don't know how much it costs.
Yeah,
25. Okay, Brent Creeley, our producer.
Well, see their inflation.
25.
Even the last 2 weeks.
Yes.
Taking it from 20 to 25.
Hey, I know I already threw out one of those little make people chuckle.
Yeah.
This man and woman dreaming, married couple. One day we want to build our dream home. Years and years went by. It finally happened. Then after they built their dream home, they didn't have enough money to really put a lot of furniture in there, so they just had a hodgepodge. Then finally they scraped and able to go to get new furniture. The truck backs in. The wife is so excited. She flings open the door, runs out there and tells the driver, she said, "Oh, you're finally here. I've been waiting 12 years for this." And he said, "Ma'am, it's not my fault. I just got the order this morning." Supply chain issues. He had that mixed up like a lot of people. Prices through the roof.
All right, Ed, go ahead.
All right, here are my 3 questions.
Bring it.
The nations of Jamaica and the Dominican Republic share an island. What is the name of the island? The name of the island upon which you find Jamaica and the Dominican Republic.
You got it. No, you're wrong on that one.
I am?
You got bad geography class right there, my friend.
Is that right?
Is that a true or false question?
Jamaica and the Dominican Republic. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Haiti.
Haiti. And DR.
Thank you.
Hey,
That's
good catch. You're talking to Mr. Geography.
That's right.
You know his middle name is McNally. It's Timothy Rand McNally Wildmon.
You saved me on that. The nations of Haiti and the Dominican Republic share an island. What is the name of that island? Thank you. That's a fist bump right there.
Catch.
Yeah, that was also embarrassing. But anyway, you didn't know to be embarrassed, but which is a good thing.
You've done this before, and before the half hour is out, you always wind up embarrassed.
Karma.
Yeah,
I see a
Karma
boomerang.
comes back
I see a
like a boomerang.
flipping and flying through the air right now. I just hadn't made that
I
turn.
agree with that. That will happen.
All right, second questions.
That's why the Bible says, "Judge not,
lest ye be judged." Who were the presidential candidates in the 1996 race for the White House? I've been doing this, it seems like, for a long time, folks. It seems that way to me, too. But we're down to probably 2 more questions before the election. One of these presidential candidates questions, who were the presidential candidates in the 1996 race for the White House? I'm talking about the Republican and Democratic candidates only. Yeah, and then third question.
We never get tired of these, just like we never get tired of political commercials.
Yeah. Yes. I think last week you encouraged me to continue doing it.
I actually do like that. That's a good little refresher course.
And folks, seriously, make sure you vote. Get out there and vote on November 5th.
Don't
vote
sit
often.
this one out.
Vote early and vote often. Yep. And then final question, in a typical roll of quarters, how many quarters are there? In a typical roll of quarters, how many quarters are there?
Now, are we talking for fighting purposes or for just going to the bank and taking your bank bag and making change? Because I grew up on the wrong side of the tracks.
Put a roll of nickels or quarters or something.
Absolutely. Yeah, if you wanted to win.
Yes, you gives your punch. If you can't afford brass knuckles, that's what you did.
A roll of quarters. So
how many quarters are in a typical roll of quarters? Like you get a roll of pennies, that little pinkish wrapper.
Yeah.
Pennies, dimes, nickels, quarters.
I'm going to guess that one won't be answered the whole show.
Really?
You got bankers
you
out
think
there.
so?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
a lot of tellers. A lot of bank tellers.
Okay. My bad. Well, see, you judge things by your own little world. And I've never in my life counted quarters in a roll.
You say, how about you judge things in your own little world? We had a farm with horses and cattle, small farm. We let our kids name the new born calf, and they got so excited. What? I get to name it? It's going to be the name forever and always. And we started noticing when we had a calf called Nightlight, one called a red one called Cinnamon, but all these little things were from a child's narrow lens.
Yeah.
You know,
all you got to do is know how much you pay for a roll of quarters, and then you just figure it out.
Yeah.
But you're not talking about Common Core, because then you're going to have a whole lot of extra steps.
I just don't ever go to the bank and get a roll of quarters. So
well, I do. The reason I do is because when my grandkids come in the afternoon, when my son picks them up
I
after
see what
school,
you're saying. Yeah,
Then
you better have
they
the
come
quarters
to my drawer.
I got
They
you.
go to
Yeah.
the snack
quarter.
machine.
I got you.
I
know.
do fairly often.
My turn on the questions.
Yeah.
Here we go. First question. Who is the oldest person mentioned in the Bible, and how old was he when he died? Who was the oldest person mentioned in the Bible? How old was he when he died? Second question, what NFL quarterback holds the record for the most interceptions? Now, my data only goes to 2018. Multiple choice. Who threw the most interceptions? A, Brett Favre, B, Jay Cutler, or C, Dan Marino? Who threw the most interceptions? Brett Favre, Jay Cutler, or Dan Marino? Third question, true or false? In Alaska, it's legal to shoot bears, but illegal to wake one up. Is that true or false? In Alaska, it's legal to shoot a bear, but illegal to wake one up.
Well, I'm guessing if you wake one up, you better be ready to shoot it.
All right. Duly noted,
Yeah.
Ed. That's thinking ahead. All right. So my questions are, number one, back to my list. Okay, I like these kinds of questions. What are the three most widely eaten foods in the world? Okay, not drinks, not liquids, foods. In other words, you take the whole world. What are the three most popular foods that are consumed? Okay, you got me?
Yeah.
Okay. Number two, what is the primary human character in the Winnie the Pooh book series? What is that person's name? What is the primary human character in the Winnie the Pooh book series? I want to know the name of that person.
Ed and I, for a second, thought you were saying, what color was George Washington's white horse? Till you said human. Then
Human,
you said,
yeah.
okay, good. You have
Yeah, because I was going, is this a trick question?
Well, yeah, we had the
Winnie
Captain
the Pooh?
Obvious thing jumping on us both at the same time. We've known each other long enough that we both had that same reaction.
All right, and finally, why do the leaves change color in the fall?
Good.
Why do leaves change color in the fall? Want to know the answer to that. Go, Ed.
All right, we're going to go to Indiana, and my favorite caller so far this show has called in, Ed. Ed, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning,
Honored
Ed.
to be able to talk to y'all. Good morning.
Yes, sir.
Welcome.
Very quickly, I just want to let y'all know, I just found you guys on YouTube, so I know what y'all look like now.
Hey,
sorry.
we're waving right now.
I apologize
Yeah,
for that, Ed.
So does the federal government. And
Hey, and the guy, the professor sitting between
Yeah.
Tim and I, he always says 2 Eds are better than 1. So we're
Yeah.
glad you're starting off the show this morning.
Well, you guys might be in trouble on that statement. We'll see how it goes.
Ask, answer, or do both.
Answer.
Which one you want to answer?
Let's go with Mr. Wildman's question.
which one?
The the three most. The reason I know this, I'm a truck driver, and of course I love eating. That's like the three most eaten foods.
Okay, here's the question to repeat. And I tell you what, if you get this right without looking it up, we'll send you an AFR ball cap.
Yeah, there you go.
Cap for him.
If he doesn't look it up. Okay, a trucker cap, yeah. So I want to know, what are the three most widely eaten foods in the whole world, considering the whole world? What are they?
Sushi, tacos, and hamburgers. That's my best uneducated guesstimation.
Hey, don't eliminate one or the other. Just say whether he got one right or two right to keep it alive.
None.
If he didn't get it. Huh?
No, 0.
What? Out of that list?
Yeah. Sorry to say that.
Wow.
I'm with you, Ed. Wow.
Well, tacos, I'm not talking about a conglomeration of
like combination
foods. Of foods. I'm talking about these are individual food items. Okay, you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Do you hear my heart?
I did. I
bit.
You're sharing your heart.
I want to throw out some examples, but I don't want to accidentally
give something
away.
away.
Hey, Ed, you made a good effort there. What's
hey,
your
we
question
like all
for
those
us?
foods you mentioned, Ed.
Yeah.
Tacos, what'd you say?
Hamburger and sushi.
Yeah.
I don't care for sushi.
No.
I'm going to speak for myself, but
I like sushi.
I don't like sushi either. What's your question for us?
I like cooked.
Who won the football game last night?
Well, there were two of them. Which one? You talking about college or pros?
Pros. It was Denver and New Orleans.
Are you asking us because you didn't stay up late enough to get the score?
No, Denver did the Orange Crush on the Saints last night.
They did?
Yeah.
Honestly and truthfully, you know, I'm one of them people early to rise, early to go to bed. I went to sleep and woke up about halftime. It was like 20-something to like 7, you know. So
no, it was like I don't think the Saints ever scored a touchdown. I think it was 30-something to 3 or something.
Ouch.
The Saints got a bunch of players that are hurt.
So like they didn't come marching in. Is that what you're trying to tell
they
us?
Didn't get. No, they never marched at all.
In or out.
In or out.
Hey, buddy, thank you for being a first-time caller.
Ed.
What part of Indiana?
I'm calling from the southwest corner. I listen to you guys on a station out of Vincennes, Indiana.
Yeah. Hey, I was born
yeah.
and raised in Owensboro, just right over there, over from Evansville, Henderson. You know right where it is.
I live about 20 miles straight north of Evansville, a little town called Hopstop.
Yep. All right, buddy.
Thank you,
Have
Ed.
a great weekend. Thank you, Ed.
Good to hear from you. Next we go to.
Sounded real friendly. Nice
Where
guy.
do we go next, Ed?
Mississippi.
Is that right?
Carrie is on the line. Carrie, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Good morning, professors.
Love that enthusiasm, Carrie.
Good morning, Carrie. It's a good day to be alive.
I'm excited to talk to y'all.
Yes, we are delighted to have you. Where are you calling from?
Long Beach.
Long Beach, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's down around in JJ's wife's
in-laws.
Yeah.
Now, Long Beach, she'll answer this question. One of those actors, those two brothers that were detectives, we're talking about a long time ago, maybe late 70s and 80s, but one of those brothers was born in Long Beach. Who am I thinking of there, Carrie?
Detectives.
Yeah, they're like two detectives. I think they lived on a boat or something.
Sherlock Holmes?
No, this is not
That's
that
the
far
only
back.
ones I can think of, and they were in England.
Yeah,
so
no,
I
a bunch
have
of people
that's like a
idea.
long way.
A bunch of people on the Gulf Coast are
All
yelling
right,
out
can I
the
tell
answer.
you? Can I tell you one actor that is from the Gulf Coast that you may be thinking about?
Yes.
When I say Gulf Coast, I'm talking about the Mississippi Gulf
Right,
Coast.
right.
There was an actor named Gerald
That's
McRaney?
McRaney.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
he's-
was one of those
yeah.
detectives in that show there, and he was.
Yeah.
I think he was born in Long Beach.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, Carrie.
Also, that
Yeah, go ahead.
Macy, I can't remember his first name. He's from Pascagoula.
Yeah, that's a pretty area. My in-laws are from Gulfport. Hey, you want to answer or do both?
I want to do both, guys.
Which one you want to answer?
I would like to answer the Winnie the Pooh question.
All right, here is the question that Carrie is going to answer. Who is the primary human character in the Winnie the Pooh book series?
Christopher Robin.
Christopher
Nicely
Robin.
done.
That's right.
Now, listen, I've
Yeah.
only done this 100 times on the show, so for the 101st time, Carrie, do you know what Winnie the Pooh and John the Baptist have in common? What do Winnie the Pooh and John the Baptist have in common? They both
eat wild honey.
They both like honey, and they both have the same middle name. Winnie the Pooh, John the Baptist.
All right, now did you just make that up, or
no? I've told that
been
a dozen
around
times. Yeah.
Well,
hey, what's
priceless.
your question for us, dear?
Okay, well, in keeping with that, I would like to know the definition of Tupelo honey.
The definition of Tupelo honey? Okay.
All right,
Yes, sir.
hang on, Carrie. We're going to talk amongst ourselves. Don't say yes or no. That was a song, right?
Yeah, but it's a real thing.
But it's a different Tupelo. It's not. People got Tupelo, Mississippi mixed up with the Tupelo honey. And there was a thing even in the USA Today, and they didn't really get all their facts straight. That's somewhere else, I think, and they made up a song about it.
Okay, can I offer an idea here? I think it has something to do with the Tupelo tree.
Right.
The honey tree. Like that
gum tree.
Gum tree. I think it has something to do with that. That song was a hit by Van Morrison. You're as sweet as Tupelo honey back in the 60s or 70s.
Tim, you're crushing it today.
Yeah, you are. Hey, what's your answer, Carrie? Help us with what you know.
Well, okay, I was at Crosby Arboretum yesterday.
Where?
In Picayune.
Oh,
Crosby Arboretum. It's absolutely beautiful if anyone wants to go. It's fabulous. But anyway, commune with nature. One of the things I learned there is that there is a tree called the Tupelo gum. You're absolutely right. And the bees who collect their nectar from the Tupelo gum flowers produce Tupelo honey.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, it's a real thing.
Okay. So it's a specific kind of honey
from the Tupelo gum tree.
Wow.
I can tell you those Tupelo gum balls are a real nuisance. You don't want to step on those dudes barefoot.
Well, forever, our town that we live in here, Tupelo, had the Gum Tree Festival.
They don't have that anymore?
Oh, I never knew that.
Yeah, they may still. It's a big deal, big arts deal.
Big deal.
They have every town has a festival. They exploit people.
Don't say exploit. Hey, they had a 5K, 10K that runners came from like 20 different states to compete. A couple thousand runners. It was a sanctioned run, pretty big deal.
And the Ethiopians won it every year, didn't they?
Of course they did.
Beat me one year.
Yeah.
But you hung with them for how long?
Well, I don't know. First 500 yards or so.
Can I tell you a quick story? I'll try to tell this so quick. Our pastor was talking about, I don't know, endurance something, and he said he was a big runner. Got real serious about it. Ran in the Tupelo gum tree. He said that when he was finishing, he looked back and there was an Ethiopian behind him, and he finished a real good place. And he thought, I can't believe I was ahead of an Ethiopian. Then when the guy crossed, he realized that the guy had run it once to warm up. Then he had ran it again and came in like first or second, and he was running it as a cool down, and caught up with him, running like a 6-minute mile. He's like, okay, I'm out. All men aren't created equal.
Yeah.
All right. So Carrie, thank you so much for calling and for your question. And
thank you, Carrie.
Hope you have a great weekend.
I tell you what, let's do. Can we break early here? We're going to take our break a little. Instead of getting in the middle of a call and having to separate, we'll just take our break just a little early. Come back, and who will be up next, Ed?
We'll have Max from Ohio. This is not in any order, folks. Shelley from Texas, Lisa from Mississippi, Ben from Indiana, and Kathleen from Ohio. You'll be coming up. We'll reset our questions when we come back.
All right, sounds good. We'll be back momentarily. Trivia Friday.
It's my turn.
Here is your host for My Turn, Don Wildmon.
strange how God made the world, or not the actual creation, but the way in which He made us human beings. He implanted within all of us, the desire to love and to be loved, to appreciate and be appreciated. And some of the grandest moments of our lives are when we are reminded that we are loved and appreciated. Once I received in the mail a letter from a couple who live in Alamogordo, New Mexico. It was a rather short letter, probably taking the writer a couple of minutes to write. But the good it did me was measureless. May I share it with you? We'd like you to know, it began, how very much whatsoever things written by you and published in our Star Shopper means to us. We look forward to it each week and always enclose it in a letter to someone. May God continue to bless your work for Him. Well, a couple of days later, another small note came in the mail. This one was from Deltaville, Virginia. Using the title of one of my recent newspaper articles, the writer had written a single line which made me humble and thankful. Your articles, the writer wrote, stir up my hope. All of us have this desire, don't we? Every one of us appreciates appreciation. We like a little flattery occasionally, even if we know it isn't true. And when someone says something to us which compliments something we have done, it lifts our hearts beyond expression. Why we humans fail to use this wonderful power which costs nothing and buys everything is hard to understand. It has the power to heal our hurts, find us friends, and build up brotherhood. The world is waiting to open its doors to anyone who will live this way. To those who can find compliment instead of condemnation, to those who can find friends instead of fault, to those who look for the best instead of the bad, the world literally opens its doors and says, "Welcome." The person who can develop this way of living will never be in want, never go hungry, never be alone. People will absolutely stand at their door begging for their companionship. Now, where does one acquire this way of living? Why, from the Galilean, of course. For isn't it He who teaches us to look for the good? Isn't it He who causes us to forget our stinginess and selfishness? Isn't it He who teaches us to lose ourselves so that we may find ourselves? So I guess that if we're interested in finding life to be this way, we have to be willing to follow His way. Many of us are willing to take this approach when dealing with our friends. Few of us are willing to do it when we deal with our enemies. It's a real shame, too, for we could get rid of our enemies by living this way. Don't we get rid of our enemies when we make them our friends? It's true, little things mean a lot, especially expressed appreciation.
This has been My Turn with Don Wildmon, a production of the American Family Association.
We give thanks to God always for all of you, constantly mentioning you in our prayers, remembering before our God and Father your work of faith and labor of love and steadfastness of hope in our Lord Jesus Christ. 1 Thessalonians 1:3.
American Family Radio.
They call him Flipper, Flipper, faster than lightning. No one you see is smarter than he. And we know Flipper lives in a world full of wonder.
That was recently adopted by Kamala Harris as her new theme song.
You didn't just go there.
For her campaign.
You're savage.
Flipper.
Oh, my goodness. I love when that little thing would come up and they'd say, "What do you think about fracking?" And you go, start going backwards.
That's the scariest dolphin imitation I've ever heard.
Yeah, I was
Kamala Harris last night, she was being interviewed, and somebody asked her, one of the reporters asked her about something, and she said, "What? We have a border?" What is a border exactly?
Did you really say that?
I know.
No.
I made that up.
Did you see the Brett
That was
Bear?
fake news right there.
Well, did you see the Brett Bear thing? Because I was amazed.
Yeah, we did.
Didn't answer the question. Then he tried
You
to
were
ask
amazed?
again. No, I mean,
That you
I
didn't
thought,
answer the question?
when he asked it three times, three different ways,
Yeah.
and like, I'm going to go on and say this, like, wow, about 19 out of 20 times she refused to answer the question.
All she's running on is "I am not Donald Trump. Vote for me."
Can I go
That's
back
it.
to Flipper quickly?
Yeah.
Do you know why scuba divers fall in backwards into the water?
Because the mask.
If they fell forward, they'd still be in the boat.
I've done that before, and that hurts.
That does.
You know what I'm saying? If you forget which
it'll
way to
leave,
go,
it'll leave a mark. You got the
hurt.
weight of the tanks, and you're hitting right there on the mask. Right in the.
All right, let's repeat our questions, Ed, and then we'll go back to the phones.
Here are my 3 questions.
Give it, bring it.
Yeah, I'm bringing it. The nations of Haiti and the Dominican Republic share an island. What is the name of the island? Second question:
Where did you get Jamaica anyway?
I have no idea how
Jamaica is in the Caribbean.
It
and
is.
It's not far from there, but
I was
they're not attached.
I was going by the answer was I had to look that and just make sure I spelled it right, and then I just basically tossed to
spaced out.
Yeah, just wasn't paying attention. Originally, folks, what Tim is continuing to remind me of for the remainder of the program is that when I initially read this question, I said the nations of Jamaica and the Dominican Republic share an island, and Tim just said, "No, you're wrong." And of course, he was right. I wasn't wrong.
Accountability, brothers.
Yeah, that's right. Accountability.
For a minute there, I questioned myself. I thought, was there like an earthquake last night that took place? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That changed the topography?
Yes.
Well, now look, in Tim's defense, if you wake up one morning and they've just willy-nilly kicked Pluto out of the solar system, you didn't hear that it was up for debate, or the
islands
vote
of Jamaica and Dominica could have.
Yes,
that
could have been like playing baseball. The starting center fielder is benched, and you're in. So Haiti got demoted, and Jamaica was moved in. Folks, it's the nations of Haiti and the Dominican Republic share an island. I want the name of the island. That was a long way of getting to that question. Second question: who were the presidential candidates in the 1996 race for the White House? Talking about the Republican and the Democrat only. And then third question: in a typical roll of quarters that you get from the bank, how many quarters are there in that roll? That's all I've got.
Good questions. Here's what I've got. Who was the oldest person mentioned in the Bible, and how old was he when he died? Second question: what NFL quarterback holds the record for the most interceptions? Who threw the most interceptions? Multiple choice. A, Brett Favre. B, Jay Cutler. C, Dan Marino. Now, this says as of 2018.
Right.
That's the data I have.
All of them had retired by then.
Yeah, so who threw?
Well, maybe not Brett. I think,
who threw the most interceptions? Brett Favre, Jay Cutler, Dan Marino. Don't yell it out, but you know, Tim, because you guys are both sports
I didn't
nuts.
know. You were asking.
I was going to use it last week, but I didn't get to it. Yeah. But
I didn't know.
Right, here,
to it.
Oh, and I've got one more: true or false? True or false? In Alaska, it is legal to shoot bears, but illegal to wake one up. Is that true or false?
Okay, if you can get this particular question without looking it up, then we're going to send you an AFR ball cap. Okay, it'll be on. So here's the question: what are the 3 most widely eaten foods in the world? Individual foods, not like a combination, like a hamburger, or taco, or something like that. Individual foods, the 3 most consumed in the world. Number 2, why do leaves change colors in the fall? I'll go with those 2.
All right, we're going to go to Ohio, and Max is on the line. Max, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Well, good morning. I want to tell Tim that I'm 936 months old.
936 months.
Wow. So
you're like I'm also a PK. I'm also a PK.
Okay, a PK. 900. How many years is that?
Ed's working on it.
78.
78
PK, for those that don't know, that's preacher's kids.
That's right, and I'm a preacher's kid.
Hey, Max, what part of the Buckeye State are you from?
I'm from Huntington, West Virginia.
Okay.
which is near
But I'm
Ohio.
a Vietnam veteran, and I come to Columbus because of reading, writing, and Route 23. That's what we were taught in school.
There you go.
All right.
What's the Route 23 thing?
Route 23 comes from the Ohio River all the way up to Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, okay.
And so all the people that graduated high school, there was no work down there, and they would get on Route 23 and come to Michigan to the car dealerships and so forth, and make cars, and they found work up that way.
That's
Okay,
good
yeah,
trivia. That's some good
absolutely.
history there.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to ask, answer, or do both, Max?
Well, I know quite a bit, since I'm so old. I'm pretty knowledgeable. I'm not really smart, but I'm knowledgeable.
Okay.
Okay.
Which one do you feel most confident about?
Well, I know the bear one. I mean, we can do that.
All right.
And I know.
You want to do that one?
Well, we can do that one, yeah.
All right. Here's the question. It's true or false. In Alaska, it's legal to shoot bears, but illegal to wake one up. Is that true or false, Max?
That's false.
It's 100% true.
Really?
It is true.
So you can. So it's illegal to wake.
It's
even accidental.
It's I don't have the complete backstory, but it was on this thing of these quirky kinds of news things. It's legal to shoot a bear. You can shoot a bear with a permit at the right time, but it's illegal to wake a bear up. I guess that whole hibernation thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it puts it in such a bad mood and causes problems with everything.
Yeah.
How would you go about waking a bear up? I mean, do you walk up and shake
cautiously?
Hey,
yeah,
you.
Yeah. You have, like Ed say, if you got an alarm clock in one hand, you better have a 9
Get
millimeter.
your big hairy stuff out of this cave.
A small cannon in the other hand. Hey, Max, what's your question for us?
Well, I asked Tim, do you have time for a joke that I can give you a joke real quick?
Go.
All right. This duck walked into a hardware store and says, "You got any grapes?" And the guy said, "No." Well, I walked out, come back later, said, "You got any grapes?" He said, "No." Come back later. He said, "You got any grapes?" He said, "No, I told you once, told you twice." Said, "If you're going to ask me again, I'm going to nail your feet to the floor." And the duck comes back in and says, "You got any nails?" He said, "No." And then he said, "You got any grapes?"
That's good. That's good.
That is funny.
Max, I like that.
Max, thanks, buddy. Have a great weekend.
Now, did you have a question in addition to the joke, or you just wanted to tell the joke?
I just wanted to tell the joke, and I love you guys, and you guys are doing great work for the Lord. And God bless you all.
Thank you, Max.
Thank
God
you so
bless
much,
you.
Max.
That's very kind of you, Max. Appreciate it.
And I like that joke. I'm going to tell my wife that joke when I go home. Or she'll groan, but I liked it. That was
Next
good.
up.
All right, let's go to Texas. Shelly is on the line. Shelly, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Good morning. Good morning. This is my first time to ever get in to talk to you, gentlemen. I'm so excited.
Well, thank you, Shelley. We're excited to have you. Where do you listen to AFR?
Out of the station out of Kerrville, Fredericksburg, in the Hill Country.
Yeah,
Okay.
Texas there.
Okay. Yeah. So, what town do you live near?
I live halfway between Harper and Fredericksburg.
Okay.
Now, Fredericksburg's got an amazing shopping thing there. People from all over come. And I think you guys have some kind of a history-making stretch of yard sales or things that lead up to and through Fredericksburg. Help me with that, Shelley.
Well, I think what we have leading up to Fredericksburg is vineyards. Wineries and vineyards.
Yeah.
And Fredericksburg is the wedding capital of Texas.
I knew there was something historic about that, but a lot of unique shops and things through there. And isn't there a pretty good Czech population there, or is that a little farther down?
Nope, German.
German. Okay. Well, hey, do you want to ask, answer, or do both?
I'd like to do both.
Which one you want to answer?
Well, Methuselah was 969 years old.
Here's the question. Who was the oldest person in the Bible mentioned? How old? You're exactly right. Methuselah, 969 years old.
Wow.
Okay, Shelley, without looking, if you can shell Methuselah with one attempt, I got a hat on your way. Go.
Methusaleh.
She was competent.
Is that right?
No,
I don't know.
No, it's Celah because it's Selah. I'm sorry, I missed it.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Do it again, but go a little more slowly.
Yeah, we're in Mississippi, Shelley. You're going to have to slow your talk down so we can understand you.
Methusaleh.
She get it right,
Methuselah. I think that's right.
You want to hear something funny? I didn't know how to spell it, so I have it abbreviated here. So I can't even check myself to see if she did it. Yeah.
All right. Hey, that's good, Shelley.
Yeah,
that is correct.
Right?
You had it right. You just said something mistakenly, right? Correct.
Right. That's
okay.
right. That's
so
correct.
we're gonna have to get Shelley's address, Cindy, and send her an AFR ball cap.
We don't usually give you a prize usually give you a prize with a prerequisite, but you're not allowed to wear this ball cap to any of those weddings.
Yeah.
That come through there that you
JJ,
have.
can you spell prerequisite for us?
No, I cannot.
Okay.
Did I answer quickly enough?
Yeah, you did.
All right. Shelley, what's your question for us?
So I have two questions for you, but I think the one that I'm going to have to ask you is, do you know what the name Methuselah means?
The name Methuselah.
Now, before we try to grasp at a straw, it ties with the flood because Methuselah was a grandfather of Noah. And all that ties with some prophetic, hey, the flood is coming. Here's what's happening. Oh, by the way, I don't do anything without giving you a little bit of heads up through prophets, through Old Testament scripture, but I can't connect all the dots. Go ahead and connect the dots for us, Shelley.
Well, you actually did connect all the dots. His name means when he dies, judgment will come.
There's a name for that?
Yes, and he was the grandfather of Noah, and when he died, that's when the flood came. And you look a lot of times in Scripture, when he says something to David, he says something to Solomon, just like when the guy, Saul, like go on off this way. The prophet came down and said, oh, I already have the table set. I knew you were coming. And that donkey that you were looking for, your dad's getting worried about it. You'll see a man carrying a loaf of bread. Boy, the Lord gives us so many heads up about what he's about to do. Even when he talks about when you see the fig tree, sailors know, red sky in the morning, all this. And so we're not taken by surprise if you're close to the Lord hearing that still small voice.
Wow, that's awesome.
Sorry for getting off on a
no. Listen,
little Devo.
That's what part of what we're here for. So,
hey,
excellent question, Shelley.
Thanks, Shelley. You guys have a great weekend. God bless you.
I'm going to put you on hold, Shelley, so that Cindy can get your information, and we'll get you that cap in the mail just as soon as possible.
And not to keep going on that, you read Daniel and read your newspaper and look at the nightly news, and you're like, whoa, you almost shudder and have a chill. Hair stand up on the back of your neck going, we really are in end times.
Amen.
No man knows the day or the hour, but it's closer today than it was yesterday.
Right. All right, we're going to go to Mississippi, and Lisa is on the line. Lisa, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Well, good morning, professors. How are y'all doing today?
Hey, well, Lisa, we're doing well. Thank you for calling. Where do you live in Mississippi?
I live in Waynesboro, Mississippi, about 30 miles from Laurel.
Yes, toward Alabama, right?
Well, we live, Waynesboro is next to Alabama.
Yes.
But we live on the other side, right? Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, listen, thanks for calling, and good to have you on. Do you want to ask, answer, or both, Lisa?
Well, I only can answer today because I don't have a question. We was on the highway.
Okay.
I want to answer I've got two I can answer, but I think I want to answer the quarter one.
All right.
Oh, good.
Here, Lisa, is the question. In a typical roll of quarters, how many quarters are there?
40.
40.
Hey! Wow!
the mystery question. The cowbell rang, and Lisa's going to get her a hat, an AFR ball cap.
What do you think about that, Lisa?
Yep.
That is wonderful. I told my husband, I said, that question is so easy that would not be the mystery question. And if I did happen to win it, I would win it for him because he wears caps all the time.
Oh,
well,
great.
Look how
That's
y'all
awesome.
had that conversation. Now you're winning. Now your easy part, Tim didn't know it, and I didn't know it. I didn't have
How
any
did you
clue.
know that, Lisa?
Tim didn't think anybody would know.
She worked at a bank.
Well, we used to own a candy business, a gumball business, and we had to, when we went and collected the money, we had to count the quarters out all the time. And that's how many quarters was in a roll.
Because a roll, you buy a roll of quarters, it's $10. So that means $10 times 4 is 40.
So
using Common Core math, is it still $10?
Yes, yeah, it still
so
is.
So Lisa, when
I don't know anything about Common Core math now. Come on.
Yeah, so you had a candy business, like a vending machine?
Right. Well, all we had was like the gumball machines, and we have M&Ms in them, and gum, and
I got you.
But that's been several years ago.
Yeah,
But I guess what I'm asking, not to get too technical, is I could understand how you would know how many quarters are in a roll when you get them from the bank, but to hand quarters over to a bank to get dollars for them, you have to put them in rolls. Is that right? In other words,
right. You'd lay your money out on the table and you would count them out.
I got you.
Yeah,
I
they'd
got
rather
you.
have them rolled up than you just come in there with a, burlap bag full of pennies or
Well, you could
nickels.
do that, but they would charge you extra, so
Right.
that would take a little bit of your money away. Yeah.
Well, you just go down to the grocery store and put it in that coin machine.
They
I do.
charge you for that, though, too.
Yeah,
I know a little bit, but worth it.
A
I'd
little
have to
bit.
have
It's
that.
like 10%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Lisa, what's your question
That's
for
about
us?
3 years of change in the bucket thing.
I
never
don't
noticed
have
that.
one.
Yeah, well, Lisa, we'll send you the hat, and thanks for calling.
Yeah, don't hang up. Lisa will
Right.
put you on hold, and Cindy will get your information, and we'll send your husband's hat out into the mail.
Yeah. What were you going to say, JJ?
Oh, I was going to say one time when I was sitting in the living room, project the kids were working on, rolling pennies, and I thought, this is a prank on humanity because the time it takes, maybe because my fingers are slow or something, but I thought if somebody gave you a boxcar full of pennies, you're like, wow, I've won the penny lottery. No, you haven't. If you sit on the floor, you can pick up aluminum cans in the ditch out in front of your house and make more money than you can. You're losing money. If you're rolling pennies, you are losing money.
A roll is like 50 cents or
Not
something.
much, and it takes a while to do it.
Yeah.
You can go out and get any minimum wage job and be so far ahead than if somebody gave you a barn full of pennies and said, here you go, roll these pennies.
You could have a job at McDonald's cleaning the ice cream machine so that people can get ice cream and still make more money than rolling pennies.
Providing the ice cream machine is working.
Yes. All right, sorry.
hey.
That's 2 weeks in a row I've
Yeah,
taken
you're
a
taking
shot
your
at
shots
McDonald's.
at the McDonald ice cream machine, man.
And I've given the penny kind of a hard way to go, but that's slow. Unless you're like these kids that text with their thumbs. I don't know how you make your thumbs go that fast and land on the right letters, but now they could probably roll some pennies and get up to like $1 an hour or something.
Yep. All right, listen, this is you're listening to Trivia Friday on American Family Radio. I'm Tim, Ed, and JJ, and this is also called Learning University. Learning University, and we're going to repeat our questions
that have heretofore
gone unanswered.
Yeah.
Heretofore gone unanswered.
All right, I'm going to have to add a question since my roll of quarters question's been answered. The nations of Haiti and the Dominican Republic share an island. What is the name of the island? Second question, who were the presidential candidates in the 1996 race for the White House? I'm talking about only the Republican and Democrat. And then I'll add one. This is pretty easy, but I do like to put some easy questions in. What was the last name of the famous scientist Galileo? What was the last name of the famous scientist Galileo?
It wasn't Jones.
No, it wasn't Jones.
Because that's what a lot of people think. I've heard that before.
Galileo Jones?
Yeah, I've heard that before.
All right, here's what I've got. First question. As of 2018, what NFL quarterback holds the record for the most interceptions? Who threw the most interceptions? Brett Favre, Jay Cutler, or Dan Marino.
And you're talking about career interceptions.
Right. And then I'm going to add a couple. Which Old Testament prophet told King David, "Thou art the man"? Which Old Testament
And that
prophet?
was not a good thing.
No. Told.
Because today that is. You know, you're the man.
You're the man.
Yeah,
You're
that's
the man.
right.
That's different context.
He took his bony finger and tapped him on the
Yeah.
chest and said, "Thou art the man."
Right.
Then and I added that. I got some of that from the Message Bible. Third question: AFA has a movie coming out this fall about the life and legacy of our founder, Don Wildmon. Name the movie. I want to see how good of a job we are doing promoting it and see if you've been paying attention. AFR has a movie coming out this fall about the life and legacy of our founder, Tim, your dad, Don Wildmon, and I want you to name the movie.
Good. Great question.
All right, my 2 questions, and if you answer this without looking it up, we'll send you an AFR ball cap, okay? So the question is, what are the 3 most widely eaten foods in the world? And I'm not talking about combo foods like a hamburger or a taco or something like that. Individual foods, what are the 3 most widely eaten in considering the whole world, okay? Number 2, why do leaves change colors in the fall? Why don't they change colors in other seasons? Why do they change colors in the fall? Leaves I'm talking about. So go ahead, Ed.
All right, we're going to go back to Ohio. Kathleen is on the line. Kathleen, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Oh, thank you. I am so excited I got through.
Well, we're excited to have you, Kathleen.
Exciting. Yes.
Where do you live in Ohio?
I live on a farm near Marysville, but I'm very close to Columbus, where the Ohio State University is.
Yes,
located.
that's right. The Ohio State. That's what they call it.
Right.
The Ohio State
My
University.
grandpa taught there. My parents met there and married. I took a few classes there. So, yeah.
Wow, wonderful. Great connection.
You know, a lot of people don't realize how, I know Kathleen knows, Ohio State University is like one of the top 2 or 3, I think, largest universities in America in terms of student population.
Really?
On campus. They got like 60.
It is.
60,000 or more people.
What?
Yeah, it's stunning. It's like a town, a big town.
Now my immediate thought is, what happens in the summertime? There must be tumbleweeds blowing through the streets. No, I'm serious, because down the road from us, Oxford, Mississippi, Ole Miss, policemen, firemen will tell you when the student body's there, there's always lots to do. It's summertime, you hear crickets.
Yeah.
Because it's a college town.
Yeah, but it's different. Columbus is a pretty big city, and 60,000 people on campus. I mean, they go to school there. Anyway, what was the question? I forgot the question. What you want to answer?
No, yeah. Which question you want to answer?
I would like to do both.
Yes.
If I can quickly tell about my little town nearby, Scotts Grass Seed, near the huge Honda plant and the Nestle plant, and some days the town smells like coffee. So.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Closer to me. So I would like to do both.
All right, which question you want to try to answer, Kathleen?
Well, I looked up the one about Haiti and the DR. I can give that, or I do know the one about the Old Testament prophet. So you tell me what you prefer.
You just go ahead, whichever one you want to select.
I'll go Nathan. Yeah.
Here's the question. Which Old Testament prophet told King David, "Thou art the man"?
Nathan.
Thank you for reading your Bible, knowing the word. Of course, that's about the adultery, the situation.
What did David say back to him?
He repented.
Yeah.
He said, "I
he
repent."
He responded the right way to the conviction of the Holy Spirit. Yeah.
And that's actually a good lesson in pastors, teachers occasionally using stories, because Jesus taught with stories. Once a woman came to King David when he was estranged from his son. She told a story. He got wrapped up in the story. And then if Nathan had just kicked the door down and said, "You've done wrong and I'm here to pronounce the judgment," it might not have been well received. When he told the story, stories are so powerful, he got wrapped up in the story, the good guy, the bad guy, and then he said, You're the man.
Yeah, he said
you're the bad guy in this
that
story.
guy should be put to death.
Yes.
The one in the story.
The one in the story. And so storytelling, very, very powerful, and it's used throughout the Old Testament.
My mama told me don't do that.
Yeah, that's a different kind of story.
Huh?
Illustrations.
Did y'all not get that?
We got that.
Yeah, and that bony finger in the face, that can work either with the story or without one.
That's
Don't be
right.
telling stories.
Hey, great job. Again, thank you for reading your Bible, Kathleen. What's your question for us?
This is true or false. The King James Version of the Bible is written in Old English. True or false?
It's written in 1611.
Right.
Old English.
I don't.
Okay,
can
Old
I?
English, but the way she's.
I'm just going to share from my heart.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, Tim. Please share with us.
That is, I think it depends on kind of what your definition is, but I think there's Old English precedes King James English. I think it goes back prior to that.
Oh, that may be right.
The way she's
I've read stuff in that Old English, and it's almost like a different language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going with Tim.
I'm
on
going
that.
to, and even the way that she set the question up, you think, well, this must be false.
Yeah. Go ahead, Kathleen. Answer.
We'll say false.
Yes, you were correct. Yeah. So I didn't know this till I was in college, and I took a history of the English language. Old English would be like Beowulf. It's like German. You cannot understand it. Middle English is, getting a little closer. That's Chaucer, won that opera with his shorter suita. You can sort of read it. But the King James Bible was written in early modern English.
Right, which 1600s, 1700s. Right
Hey,
there.
Kathleen, we are about to take a break, so we don't want to be rude and just end your call, but we do want to thank you for calling in, and we're glad you got through and hope you have a great weekend.
We will reset our questions when we get back from this short time out here on Trivia Friday.
The views and opinions expressed in this broadcast may not necessarily reflect those of the American Family Association or American Family Radio.
Faith, family, freedom. American Family Radio.
The Stand provides a Christian perspective on current issues that are important to your family. Produced by the American Family Association, this monthly magazine is full of articles and stories about people who are making a difference in their community and around the world. Sign up today and receive a free 6-month subscription. Visit thestand.net or call 1-800-326-4543.
This is American Family Radio, a listener-supported ministry of the American Family Association.
For American Family News, I'm Chris Woodward. President Joe Biden is urging resolve, meeting with European allies about Ukraine. Fox's Jared Halpern has more from Washington.
Standing alongside the German chancellor in Berlin, President Biden said Europe must stay resolved as Ukraine faces a tough winter, even as the cost is heavy.
Make no mistake, it pales in comparison to the cost of living in a world where aggression prevails, where large states attack and bully smaller ones, simply because they can.
The president also met with leaders of France and the UK to discuss a victory plan presented by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. One key component of that is an immediate invitation to join NATO.
Vice President Kamala Harris is being criticized for not attending the annual Al Smith dinner. It's a night of food, fellowship, and jokes from all the candidates. Harris did record a video message, but only Donald Trump was in attendance. Comedian Jim Gaffigan had this to say about Harris being absent.
She did find time to appear on The View, Howard Stern, Colbert, and the longtime staple of campaigning, the Call Her Daddy podcast.
Talking about Harris and the Al Smith dinner on Fox News Channel, National Review editor-in-chief Rich Lowry offered these thoughts.
They skipped it
It's hard to understand why. And then it would have been one thing just to skip it and stay silent, or skip it and write a nice letter. But then she did this totally cringeworthy video with an SNL cast member, which maybe makes you think that her team thought she just can't do humor, right? So maybe she shouldn't show up.
I actually think
total miss.
Federal regulators have opened a probe into Tesla's full self-driving system following the death of a pedestrian in low-visibility conditions. Here's Fox's Jeff Manasso.
The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says the investigation follows Tesla's report of 4 crashes when its cars encountered sun glare, fog, and airborne dust. That in addition to the pedestrian's death, another crash involved an injury. The investigation into Tesla's fully self-driving system, covering about 2.4 million vehicles from the 2016 through 2024 model years. Investigators will look at the ability of systems to detect and respond appropriately to reduced roadway visibility conditions.
Mountain West Commissioner Gloria Navarez says she is heartbroken over turmoil surrounding San Jose State women's volleyball this season. At least 5 teams have canceled games against San Jose State, the stated reason being San Jose State has a man on the women's volleyball team. Earlier this week, Beth Parlato of Independent Women's Forum told AFN that the female volleyball players are in the right, adding this is an issue of safety and fairness. Look for that story on AFN.net. In final news, an American Catholic activist organization wants you to be aware that an annual campaign in October is connected financially with abortions. Here's AFN's Bronson Woodruff.
October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. While you may like to donate to breast cancer charities, American Life League wants to warn you to be mindful not all of them align with your values. Katie Brown, National Director of American Life League, tells AFN how you can find charities with the right values.
So American Life League has a program called the Charity Watch List, and what we try to do with this tool, it's a free online resource where we just give pro-life-minded donors an idea of what popular charities give to things that might not be in line with pro-life values. So in the month of October, we're just raising awareness about some of the breast cancer charities that unfortunately have ties to organizations like Planned Parenthood. There are some that have ties to embryonic stem cell research.
One charity in particular is the Susan G. Komen Foundation, which Brown says has a very long history of providing money to Planned Parenthood.
So we're trying to let people know that, that one specifically, the Susan G. Komen Foundation, if you're looking to donate to a breast cancer research foundation, that's one to stay away from. But the good thing is that there is a pro-life breast cancer research fund. It's called the Breast Cancer Prevention Institute. It's actually a pro-life breast cancer foundation. They are adhere to pro-life values, and they even go so far as to explain to women the link between abortion and breast cancer.
You can find the American Life League's charity watch list on their website. I'm Bronson Woodruff.
Find more news on AFN.net.
Let's think about what God has done. I would wager that his top news story is still that the free salvation through the blood of Jesus Christ is available to all. I wager that will be the top news story until that salvation is no longer available. You will have made your decision for eternity. He doesn't ask us to do anything he won't, and then he does above what we can possibly do.
Hear Todd Herman on A Disciple's View, weekdays 12 p.m. Central on AFR. This is Trivia Friday. The number to call with your question or your answer to a question is 888-589-8840. Now, back to more Trivia Friday.
Back, everybody. Welcome back to Trivia Friday on American Family Radio. We're going to get back to our questions in just a moment, but world traveler J.J. Jasper is going to be on the road again. Where are you going now, J.J.?
I'm so excited. I'm going to be in Campbellsville.
You really mean that?
Yes, I'm so excited.
He actually does like doing it. Yeah.
Yes. Hey, listen, I'm going to be in Campbellsville, Kentucky. Last year I was there for the pro-life event.
Yeah.
They said, here's what we're expecting, our goal. They tripled how much they expected. The pro-life community there, amazing. Mel, Fred, all the ones there. But I'm going to be at Elkhorn Baptist Church tomorrow evening, Campbellsville, Kentucky, Hope Pregnancy Center of Taylor County. Please pray for that ministry. They actually service 5 different counties.
Wow.
Amazing pregnancy resource center. Now, it's a meal. I'm doing stand-up comedy, then sharing about the pregnancy center. It's a fundraiser. It's a ticketed event. I think they've got all the head count for the meal, but you can check. There may be a waiting list. but you can come to the program. There'll be tickets at the door if you just want to come to the program.
All right.
So that's tomorrow evening, Campbellsville, Kentucky. Can't wait to meet so many of our AFR listeners.
All right, let's repeat our questions, Ed.
All right, here are my 3 questions. Number 1, the nations of Haiti and the Dominican Republic share an island. What's the name of the island? Second question, who were the presidential candidates in the 1996 race for the White House? I'm talking about the Republican and Democratic Party candidates. And then third question, what was the last name of the famous scientist Galileo? That's what I've got.
Here's what I've got. First question, who threw the most interceptions in the NFL? Brett Favre, Jay Cutler, or Dan Marino? This is up through 2018. Which NFL quarterback threw the most interceptions? Brett Favre, Jay Cutler, or Dan Marino? Second question, AFA has a movie coming out this fall about the life and legacy of our founder, Don Wildmon. Name the movie. And then I'm going to go ahead and add one more question. Many important women mentioned in the Bible, Sarah, Jochebed, just over to Hannah. Wow, but there are so many important stories of unnamed women with key roles in the Bible. Name 2 women in the Bible that are unnamed that show up in the Bible in a story.
Name
unnamed,
them?
but tell the story.
Oh, okay.
Where 2 important women's roles in the Bible, but they're unnamed. I'll give you an example. The alabaster jar, the woman's pouring Jesus even says,
perfume.
Yeah, her story is going to be told anytime they share the gospel. But two important women in the Bible that are unnamed. That's all I've got.
Why do leaves change color in the fall? That's one question I have. Want to know the reason for that. And secondly, for a AFR ball cap, we'll send you a free ball cap if you can answer this question without looking it up. What are the 3 most widely eaten foods in the world? Considering the whole world, what are the 3 most widely eaten foods? All right, Ed.
And you're not talking about combination foods like tacos.
Right, or hamburgers. I'm talking about individual standalone foods. Okay, go ahead.
All right, we go to North Carolina and
just name 2 of the 3. I'll give you the hat. I'll lower my standard. Sorry.
Okay, no, I can't. My computer's
froze up.
Frozen. So let's see if our
Rick from North Carolina. Let's see if Rick's there.
Well, he's not here. We can't get him in. So
all
right, folks, just having a little bit of.
I would say if your computer's frozen,
okay,
you need
to
let it go.
I'm reaching across for a fist bump on that one. I have 5 daughters.
Let it go.
I'm hearing it song in my head right now.
Yeah, thanks for that, Tim. I'm hearing that. Why don't you just go Baby Shark and get that song stuck in my head? All right, now we got to go in North Carolina and Rick. Rick, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Well, thank you very much, learned professors. I'm very excited to be getting through. A long-time listener, but first-time caller. So
hey, thank you, Rick.
Tune in and get in today.
Rick, we've been praying for your state. Heartbreaking, especially there out towards the west. All that loss of life and destruction. And just know across America, we're praying for you guys. What part of North Carolina, where do you live?
I'm actually in the eastern part of North Carolina in Jacksonville. It's the home of Camp Lejeune. I'm a 18-year Marine veteran, and that's how I wound up here in North Carolina.
Okay, hoorah.
Yes. And thank you for your service, brother.
Ed's father was, or I guess, once a Marine, always a Marine.
Yeah. So, Rick, you want to ask, answer, or do both?
Well, I'd like to do both if that's okay.
It is okay.
Absolutely.
We like it. Which question would you like to try to answer?
The question about Jamaica and Haiti.
Okay, I actually had to correct myself.
No. Rick, go ahead. Go ahead, Rick. Tell us what island Jamaica and Haiti connect on.
Don't do that.
No.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, as obviously being in the Marine Corps for quite a few years, did a lot of traveling around, so geography became one of my hobbies. And Haiti and Jamaica share the beautiful little island of Hispaniola.
Hispaniola is the island shared by Haiti and the Dominican Republic.
You meant Dominican Republic, didn't you, Rick? Not Haiti. I mean, not Jamaica.
Okay, yeah, I got those confused. I'm sorry about that.
I knew you did. I knew you knew that, but you were just a little bit confused there. So to the Q&A, go ahead.
The nations of Haiti and the Dominican Republic share an island, and Rick is absolutely correct. The name of the island is Hispaniola.
Nicely done,
and he
sir.
pronounced it
just below Cuba.
Right, because Jamaica's a standalone island.
It is.
Yeah, out there.
Yeah.
So,
I should have remembered that because back in the dark ages when I was in Bible college in Minnesota, one of my classmates was actually from the Dominican Republic. So I don't know why that left my brain cells, but when you're 67,
it happens.
It must be true because I started off the show, Rick, by saying Jamaica and the Dominican Republic.
Right.
That's probably what you heard. Yeah.
Tim corrected me. I just don't think it's very wise to poke fun at a Marine, but Tim likes to live dangerously.
Did I poke fun at anybody? I'm sorry.
No, you poke fun at me. I know that.
Hey, guys, if I can throw in a little sidebar here.
Where are you going to be speaking?
No. It's the time of year where we're packing shoe boxes, Operation Christmas Child, Samaritan's Purse. I was privileged to go to the DR, the Dominican Republic, with Samaritan's Purse and hand out those shoe boxes. I had a front row seat to see that unbridled joy. Many of those kids, that's the first gift they've ever received in their life. Never had a birthday present, never had a Christmas present, and to see how excited they were about that.
And grateful.
Yes, but your Sunday school class, your family, your church, love to see those green and red boxes stacked up there in the foyer or even on the stage. But get packing, Samaritan's Purse, Operation Christmas
Get
Child.
packing. You better be careful around here.
Yeah, there's a lot.
How you say that? You
a lot
might
of people
rephrase
packing.
that because we got a lot of packing going on here.
Hey, what's your question for us, Rick?
Well, it's sort of a logic and math question. I know sometimes those don't get quite as many of those, but what three positive numbers give you the same result when you either multiply them or if you add them together?
What three numbers give you the same result whether you add or multiply them together? Okay. So, Rick, we're going to talk amongst ourselves here, so don't say yes or no. So
3 is going to be 1.
No, it would be 0, 1, because, no, it can't be 1. Well, 1 plus 1 equals 2, 1 times 1. All right, so I know 0's it.
Hey, you better tell us. I think we're going to stagger and stumble along. We might not get there, Rick. We do know that 5 out of 4 people have trouble with fractions. We know that.
Yeah, and according to the Bureau of Unfinished Research, 6 out of 7 people.
Right.
6 out of 7 people.
Right.
Bureau of Unfinished
Research.
That's funny.
Rick, I think you just came up with something that JJ has not heard before.
I'm going to use that, Rick. Hey, what's the answer?
Okay, the three positive numbers that give the same result when multiplied or added together are the numbers 1, 2, and 3.
See, 3, I was thinking 3 times 3 is 9. 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 9.
Well, if you add 1 plus 2 plus 3, you get 6. 1 times 2 is 2 times 3 is 6. So
you're talking about all
if you
three
add
numbers.
them or you multiply them together, you get the same answer.
The 3's in a sequence. I missed that part, but I wouldn't have gotten there anyway.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't. I'm with you.
And 6 out of 7.
Listen, that's hilarious, Rick. The Bureau of Unfinished. What'd you say? The Bureau of Unfinished what?
It's the Bureau of Unfinished Research has determined that 6 out of 7 people.
I like that.
Hey, you made our day. Have a great weekend. Thank you again for your service, sir.
All right, who's next, Ed?
You're going to have to I'm talking to Brent Creeley, our producer. My computer's acting up, so we go to Kansas, and Dave is on the line. Dave, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, Dave. Thanks for calling. Where do you live there in Kansas?
Well, I'm living in Independence, Kansas.
Okay. Well,
yeah.
What's
JJ,
it? What?
there?
Yeah. What's Independence, Kansas famous for?
Well, if you look at the map, Oh, that's not my hometown. My hometown is Neodesha, Kansas, and it's famous for the first oil well west of the Mississippi.
Okay.
And I'm not real sure exactly what Independence is famous for. I've been up all night, but
okay. All right. Well, okay. Well, you've been driving or something, or
no, working,
drinking, or what?
Working.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Working.
I shouldn't have said that was wrong. Working.
Dave, you want to ask, answer, or do both?
Both.
Which one you want to answer?
Which ones you got left?
All right. Let's see here.
Now the food one.
The food one. All right. Now, Dave, if you can answer this question, I'm going to send you an AFR ball cap right here, okay? And all I'm asking for is 2 of the 3. And the question is this, Dave. What are the 3 most widely eaten foods in the whole world? And they're individual foods. They're not combos like a hamburger, a taco, or anything like that. They're the standalone individual foods. Can you name 2 of the top 3?
I'm going to say the first one I'm going to guess is rice.
Rice is number 1. You got that right. Uh-huh.
I'm going to say number 2 is potatoes.
Potatoes is number. Hold on, no. Potatoes is number 6. Okay, so I'm going to give you
beans.
No.
Beans, no.
No, rice is number 1.
Well, you have
you
the
got
next
that.
person.
Yeah, you got that right.
Now they just have to come up with one.
Yeah.
What's your question for us, Dave?
How many years does the Bible say it was from Adam to Abraham?
From Adam to Abraham?
Yes, sir.
Seems like I just read that in the genealogy.
Yeah.
Adam
was
to
it,
Abraham.
Was it
all I know is that whatever the number is, whether you add it or multiply it, it comes out the same.
right.
6 out of 7?
No, I just read this because it's given the genealogy. I think even it's there. It's the first.
Give it a ballpark.
40 years?
From Adam to Abraham?
Oh, no. Yeah, you better tell us. What's the answer?
I'll give you a clue. What year did Israel become a state?
48.
1948.
Yeah, 1948.
And it's 1,948 years from Adam to Abraham.
Are you serious?
Wow. What a coincidence.
Absolutely.
Wow. It is right.
Are you serious, Clark?
And also, from the death of Abraham to the destruction of the temple is 1948.
Wow. Isn't that amazing how that all...
As long as the temple wasn't, because the temple wasn't probably destroyed in, exactly at the beginning of the year, and Abraham probably didn't die in the middle of the year, you're going to come up with 4070 if you add it up. And if you go from Isaac to the birth of Christ, you'll come up with the number 3996, which is also 1948. From the birth of Isaac to the birth of Christ is 1948.
Where are you getting all this, Dave?
Well, if you take
I'm talking about did you figure this out on your own, or did you read about this somewhere, huh?
I figured this out on my own.
Okay.
Very interesting.
So if you take 1948, Abraham was 100 when Isaac was born, plus another 1948, you'll come up with 3996. That'd be 4 BC.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is very interesting.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, buddy.
He's a numerist.
Thank you for listening to AFR. God bless you. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, a numerist there. Isn't that what it's called?
I don't know. Numerist?
Yeah. I think that's what it's called when you're interested in like doing numbers and things of that nature.
Yeah. Well, that sounds good to me. All right. I'm with you.
Is that how you go through life?
Yeah, that's right.
That just sounds good to me.
Sounds good. Well, that's how my wife and I pick out somewhere to go eat lunch.
You know,
I say this sounds good to me.
You got him through high school.
Yes. Ed, you failed another test. Well, that sounds good to me.
You lost your credit card.
Well, you know,
Walmart.
That's what happens. Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me.
I don't care. All right, let's go to Indiana. And Alexander is on the line. And Alexander, it says, is 14 years old. Alexander, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Hello.
Hey,
Hello,
Alexander. Thanks for calling. Where do you live in Indiana?
I live in a small town called Rochdale.
Okay. What's that famous for?
Roach races? Yeah, roach races.
Roach races? Like the insect?
Yes.
I thought he said Roachdale, but I didn't want to throw that out there.
Yeah, roach races.
Rochdale, Indiana?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well,
If
never
the
heard of a roach
if the
race.
termite people aren't having their convention there, then your city fathers have messed up. Because you need to get all the exterminators together.
Roach race.
Yeah, there you go.
The third annual roach race, sponsored by Terminex.
Hey,
right.
ask, answer, or do both, Alexander.
I'm an answer.
All right, which one you want to answer?
The president one.
All right, Alexander, here's the question. Who were the presidential candidates in the 1996 race for the White House? I'm talking about the Republican and the Democratic Party candidates. What say you, Alexander?
Clinton and Dole.
That is correct.
Wow.
Bill Clinton versus Bob Dole. Now, Alexander, if you can name the vice presidential candidates, we're going to send you an AFR ball cap.
Here we go.
That's. I don't remember this one.
Okay. All right. Well,
you did good.
You did. You certainly did well on the Bill Clinton versus Bob Dole race in 1996. Kind of seems like just yesterday, but that was 28 years ago.
Hey, and you're the first person from Rochdale, I think, that's ever called in on the show. So you represented Roachville or Rochdale?
Rochdale.
You've represented Rochdale very well. Have a great
Hey,
weekend.
hold on. I got one other question for Alexander. Maybe you don't know the answer to this. If I have a roach, I want to enter into that race because I got a couple that
you think they got winners written right all over.
Oh, they're fit. You know what I'm saying? They're ready to go. And
Come right out of
but I just don't
Roach CrossFit.
Yes,
and get ready to go to the starting line.
I don't know what to do with all this training that they're going through.
Yeah.
So when is the race, Alexander?
Tell them they don't have them anymore.
They used to have them all the time, but they stopped a couple years ago.
Here's the deal. I can tell you why they stopped. All them old hippies kept showing up saying, we're here for the roach deal that you got going on. And there was a little bit of confusion between a doobie and an insect. And that messed the whole thing up. Marketing is everything. And here it is. It's communication, communication, communication. That's the key word.
Oh, man.
Hey, Alexander, did you have a question for us?
No.
Okay.
Not that I can remember.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you, Alexander.
Thanks,
Good
buddy.
to have you call, buddy, from Indiana. Alexander call.
And maybe his dad weighing in. Good to hear a little bit of backstory there.
We got 5 minutes left, so keep moving, Ed.
Okay. Let's go ahead and get Lynn from Arkansas. Lynn, we have a little bit of computer trouble here, so we're trying to get you. There we go. Lynn, welcome to Trivia Friday.
Yes, sir. Great to talk to you, professors. Wonder if I can get a diploma. I've been listening for 4 years.
Well, 4 years of
have you paid your tuition?
Oh, there we
no,
go.
and I wanted to thank you that it's tuition free.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
yes, that's right. That's
have you
right.
made good grades? That's the thing, so we got to know whether to give you a sash or a couple of chords when you walk across the stage. The virtual stage.
No, I have not, but I have learned a lot and repeated it a lot. And I also repeat, my husband and I repeat your jokes, JJ.
Wonderful. You don't have to blame me on them or give me credit, but thank you for that.
Where do you live in Arkansas, Lynn?
Hot Springs.
Okay, wonderful. That's a great place. Been there many times. Well, 4 or 5 times anyway. Hot Springs. Okay, you want to ask, answer, or both?
I was going to do both, but they just answered about Clinton and Bob Dole. So I could try the food one.
All right, here's the food one. And if you can get 2 of the 3, I will give you an AFR ball cap. The question is, what are the 3 most widely eaten foods in the world?
rice and onions.
Rice is right. Rice is number one. Onions is not in the top.
All right, we're going to give
that
you.
leaves it for somebody else.
We're going to give you one more shot.
She fouled that one off.
Well, she fouled that one off.
There's 4 minutes left.
Tomatoes.
You got a mulligan.
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes. No. No.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway, good try.
Leave it alive because the next caller may win.
Oh, we got another.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, dear.
Well, you have a question
for us?
You have a question for us?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
What president over his bed has "As your days, so shall your strength be"? Deuteronomy 33:25.
Which president?
And Jacob blessed his sons. What president? Yes, I heard it on your radio on.
I'm gonna say
he had that over his bed. I'm gonna say Ronald
yes.
Reagan.
As your days, so shall your strength be.
I'm going to go with Reagan,
I'll go with John Quincy Adams. Yeah.
All right, so JJ and I say Ronald Reagan, and Tim says John Quincy Adams.
Grover Cleveland.
Grover Cleveland.
Wasn't he one of the Muppets?
David Jeremiah told that one morning.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Well,
that is really
David
good.
Jeremiah said it.
That's right.
That's
Take
right.
that to the bank.
Put that in the
you
bank.
take that with your roll of quarters.
Your roll
take
of
that
quarters.
To the bank. Thank you, dear.
Hey,
Have a
Lynn,
great
thank you
weekend.
so much.
Thanks for calling. We're out of time.
We are.
Jamie from Ohio, you'll be first up next week, but go ahead.
All right, guys, what was the last name of the famous scientist Galileo? You remember? From school? Galileo Galilei?
Is that it?
That's it.
Yeah. I think it was a musical group, too.
Galileo
Galilei. They did a thing where they weren't really singing. They were just lip syncing.
Yeah.
Big trouble with that.
They did.
Hey, I got a bunch left over. Who threw the most interceptions, guys?
Oh, it's Brett Favre.
Brett Favre.
What about the name of our movie is Culture Warrior. You can watch the trailer, culturewarrior.movie. And I think I'm going to save my one about the women of the Bible for next week.
Good.
Okay, the three top foods eaten in the world are rice, eggs, and chicken. Rice, eggs, and chicken. Why do leaves change colors in the fall?
Because the temperature drops.
Because of the breakdown of chlorophyll.
Or that.
Because of the shorter days and cooler temperatures.
You say chlorophyll. With my upcoming surgery, the anesthesiologist said I can put you out with gas or a boat oar. And I said, what? He said, gas or a boat oar. It's up to you. It's ether or. A boat paddle is what I was supposed to say. A boat paddle.
Yeah, we're following you. All right.
Campbellsville, Kentucky. I'll be there tomorrow evening.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
You know, there are many ways we can impact the world.